comforting hands, shaking the motionless, match made in the image of myth, amidst the closest thing to innocence. These are fingerprints on a pulse, taken to heart, that's beating the odds of uneven starts.
Thanks everybody for coming out tonight. Lucas Pierce on the bass. Thanks, Lucas. The magistrates wore worn suits and I froze courtside in my hoodie and shell toes. Painfully aware of my surroundings all at once, the whole mood compressed into static, binding the molecules of life into love, into lust, into innate inner child's thoughts of we chasing the sky that fell into the sea that we created for ourselves to be self-absorbed by, and bypassing the words of the horn players blasting songs, sang sing-song melodies of modern day core themes for schemes of dreams for you to look through, picture frames of nameless names and games that we played in the courtyard before the turn of the century when you lost your mood themes and fragile forms for you to fill out, signing your name on the line, signing bonus for the homeless ones outside of the courtyard. Do you remember? I played croquet that summer with swollen dreams for us to become us and trust to become truth and truth to become no. I wrote a poem to commemorate the journey of thought, time passing out flyers for the show of the century. I walked into a penitentiary of thought. My disposable pen served as a disposable hero, but brain locked my hands and the only words to be found were absurd words of absurd thoughts and insane actions to follow suit of my being. The tea parties and mid-afternoon chats broke into informal combat strategics and songs of war. Never before had I seen the unseen hands of fate pull strings of demon-shaped puppetry in my life. On my future wife, on my future life, this piece of cake is still on the table from the day when I decided to settle for crumbs. Do you remember? Brain-numbing aspirations of we formed we once again, but then again we were not as we appeared to me, appeared to be. True, but true was subjective to time frames and 24-bit color palettes and digital mallets to bind ties. Was this a dreamscape for my shaping to testify? Were you alive? Was I alive? Could I rely on perceived themes? I saw the mountains collapse into teardrops that overflowed the landscape and washed away my mindscape as I sat alone with no more thoughts to dwell on. We pretend to ink emotions, remain unheard, unseen, unblinded by the controversy. Continual mode shift, mode shift. We hit dust particles with ball-peen, hammer-headed conspiracy to overthrow your blind, faithful nature of the beast within your sanity. Conceptual profanity to sink faces left at the door. Never, no more, not nearly my newsstand worthy nemesis. I fractured the axe back, pulled the bullshit by the horns. You climbed Tommy Hill but didn't figure your clothes would get ripped. Mode shift. Contemplate the sentiment. This is more than resentment, my friend. Subtle anarchy, the means to an end.
Centuries, the family remained relatively unchanged in a predominantly rural society. But with the coming of industrialization and urbanization,
I never asked to be placed on this earth, so who the hell gave you permission to test my acquisitional standpoints? Me versus my self-conditioning portholes where I separate myself from the mortals expressing themselves. And you look through bias to base your opinion on life, while I pass it by with every dismission of the truth. There's more free will for you to function within and base your pretense on. From past tense on, I make dub versions of catchphrase. For mass market consumption, general assumptions have been made about the market, give or take 1,000 years, and it's still tears and chaos for us to base fears upon. Mastered and edited by Mexican vampires, wearing overpriced attire and fashion, falling for the new millennium that's right around the corner, stricken with opposition from right or left, hand-turning signals while the yin and yang wages constant war with itself and swings time by the pendulum. We emblaze emblems on our tired limbs for recognition. The cognition of positioning yourself upon the steps of God is only one part of superstition. And my God descended from a place that I created for myself with outdated words and composition.
extended families broke down because new employment opportunities drew young people away from their families. Family units became smaller until they usually consisted of only 2 adults and their young children, the nuclear family. And old people gradually lost their important roles in the family and society.
lioness, the nihilist, scientists redefine and twist. Now stand theorist, idealist, revolutionist, neo-anarchist, virtual scribes that write scrolls for the souls of the silent while contrived minds spy through the hi-fi. I'm low-tech, like a Hotep, on a stroll stretch to divine heights erroneous. No blind sight, the limelight gets dim. Distracted by that cursor, the urge just starts to end. Emerges pawns and men, we word and march against fitting opposites, equating all the bits and rises with the cycles of the sun. Striking on the drum with lightning on the tongue, the noble sons of yesteryear with essence. Trying to kill me, you and mine. Mankind 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 trying to kill me, you and mine.
So we assess the situations and analyze the paths we follow. Dissect the intersections where the body meets the mind. Due time passes emotions we express through weighted right to passage and balance the existential with that which we provide. You see, I click and drag to the point where this began. Push the buttons with broken hands and a soul full of chaos. We understand the reasons for the journeys we embark on and the purpose of media control that makes the population nervous. But my spiritual existence defies technology's persistence, and with each step further, we get closer to the goal. You see, it's yin versus yang, with male dominance behind scenes of a graphic nature, trying to find sitting spots in miles of
thoughts we contemplate, innovating emotion for the forlorn, both and wicked, so that someone has a dream when the darkness becomes uplifted. I hold this colorless rainbow for my heart to paint the pictures in, and my palette is anger, both pretentious and paper thin.
Gamma tech, gamma ray, gamma tech, gamma ray, gamma tech, gamma ray, gamma tech, gamma ray.
My half-brain composure signifies my lack of disciplinary stature and form as it relates to my physical being. I contemplate as I sit the weight we've been lied to from birth, and the trickery residing in language, like when we think essentially reaching my potentially fatal form and mask my emotions as I sit in the half-lotus position contemplating.
Gamma tech, gamma ray, gamma tech, gamma ray, gamma tech, gamma tech, gamma ray, 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 gamma tech, gamma ray.
And so once again, nihilistic thought transgresses itself into non-self-sensical whims of my immortal verbal bowel movements of eco-terrorism, forming my informal opinion of catacombing my hair and brushing off my teeth as a statement against state acquaintance of my patience, forbidding my forewords till checkmate process as I stand still in the smoke-filled room with my face turning blue with pain from not breathing second-hand emotion of time's force continuum. We wake up 4 hours late cause we work in 28-hour cycles of repetition. Some weeks are dark, some force light, to inside left coast to right wing, dress codes, Morris codes, what's for the taking and for the keep of forlorn spirituality. Somewhere along the way my quest lost momentum, now we sway back and forth.
Gamma tech, gamma ray, gamma tech, gamma ray, gamma tech, gamma tech, gamma tech, tech, gamma tech, gamma ray, gamma tech, gamma ray, gamma tech, gamma ray, gamma tech, gamma ray.
size or force, form or technique.
I'll battle you for custody.
La la la, it's not size or force, form or technique.
I'll battle you for custody.
La la la. The weak link is quivering, determining the chain's strength, whimpering, vibrating. The wavelength of its stress signals are more or less symbols. It just trembles, knowing it'll take the weight when the chain breaks and disassembles. See, Mr. Wendell, he knew nothing of this daily struggle. Sit under the dysfunctional family tree and prepare for trouble. Could barely hear the mumbles beneath the ear-piercing grumbles. Sharp tongue slashing mouths while lashing out with verbal belt buckles. Friends crumble under similar circumstances within their own chain of events, from sloppy knots and family ties. The pain is intense, the tension is thick. Two-sided arguments are upsetting to him, stretching the lake, testing his endurance and spreading it thin. Trembling, holding on to what's familiar in the Italian sense, and reading the intense drafts of Sylvia.
The effort is just that, it's just math, paper cuts and the photos to prove his strength. He follows the family, alone as the next member. California dreaming of moving out there in September. I sit in admiration, knowing that the weakest link is also the one that holds the pillars on the brink of collapse. Relapse, the replay of emotional disarray, the staining the stains of teardrops on his t-shirt. Sometimes taking for yourself is harder than giving to those who want to give up living in the circumstance. Dance around the issues of dealing with the problem, trudging through the uncomfortable streets of disparity, all sparing love and clarity and also ignorance. Chains don't always hold the fingerprints.
Their hearts pump urine and sweaty palms tell the lie, so blame it on the drug addict brother in the cover-up. One can't help but become the center of attention when everything is helpless. Be realistic. Ever since the goldfish died, daughter can't see past the makeup. Stapling, please become a savior to everything. Photo album catalog, better order new handholders. Follow the order to someone older and less experienced. The whole choir is off key and forgets the words, so act later and get a free subscription to a diary, not even worth reading. There was a time like this when mother's tears turned lakes and grew tea gardens. Now overgrown with homemade graves, but at least she can keep the whole family together.
I'll battle you for custody.
La la la, it's not size or force, form or technique.
I'll battle you for custody.
La la la, it's not size or force, form or technique.
I'll battle you for custody.